Well, it's been a minute. Welcome back to some more Ace Attorney. I am so sorry. It has been a while since the last video, so please go back and watch the previous one if you don't remember what happened. I also don't really remember what happened, so we'll be going into it together. I mean, I remember it's the final one of like the first game. There's like the lady who is like the top prosecutor is being like accused of murder, and it's her sister that's come to ask us to help. And the guy was like found in the boot of the car in like the near like the police station, and there was like the woman selling the like bento boxes that kept changing, and the judge was being as useless as usual. So I think I've remembered quite a bit, if I'm being honest. But yeah, I don't really remember much more. So you're really gonna have to bear with me while we kind of make our way through this, because I don't really remember anything. Oh my god, I haven't played this since last year, October. February 23rd. Oh my god, it's we're actually closer to the date than when I last played. That's a bit mortifying. I do apologize. I won't do that again. I did promise I would at least finish this game. So yeah, we're gonna finish this trial. I promise. Maybe not today, but we will finish it. February 23rd, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. I've forgotten the voices. We're just gonna wing it.
Mr. Wright?
Huh? What?
Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there.
Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway?
Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers.
Probably something to do with that piece of cloth. I don't remember. Oh, there was something to do with like the woman who was on the bento boxes, like eyewitness testimony, like where she was stood was like a weird place, and how she like caught her and stuff. There was like a whole thing to do with that, wasn't there? And then there was something like on the floor as well. I vaguely remember. I will have a look at the court record, but yeah.
So this is where we turn the trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny insignificant piece of cloth.
I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Hola, partner. Oh, this dude! Yes! They say you show a red cloth to a bull and it'll fire up its temper. That's what they told me when I was a youngin', at least.
Officer Marshall!
Thought I'd come take a look and see how the trial's going. Looks like I'm late. They've got the home ranch locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory. That hard to slip out, huh? What's going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge. Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
You don't say. Now don't that just beat it all? I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time. I saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler. She is definitely wearing one there.
What?
At the award ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth seen it too, I'd reckon. What does that mean? Well, she definitely wasn't wearing one there. In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf. She definitely wasn't wearing one there, yeah.
So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken.
Well, it's about time. Remember, partner, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns, and sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time will tell. Ugh, I have a bad feeling about this. Me too.
So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Ooh-wee. February 23rd, District Court, courtroom number 9. Oh my god, I haven't done this in so long. Oh, I thought he was going to say order. I was really looking forward to saying it. I was going to be order. I haven't done it in so long. I'd like to resume. What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Oh my god, I've missed his crazy faces. Is something wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes. What's more, your eyes are unfocused. You're doubled over, your back is bent. It can't be. This can't happen.
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable. It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. Excuse me, knock knock? Who's there? What? What's with this guy? A strange stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom. What is happening? What is happening?
Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in.
Who on earth is he? I've got no idea. Ah, it's you! Okay, are you just gonna keep blinking at us, or are we gonna get any form of... Oh! Sorry I'm late, Udgy. The roads were packed, it's just me. Long time no see, eh, Udgy? How you been? Swim much these days? Ah, hello. No, I've been so busy. Busy smizzy, Udgy, my boy. You have to make time to relax. Yes, indeed.
Udgy seems to be his nickname for the judge.
I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you? Ah, so you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son. Thanks? So sorry about our little Worthy giving you all the trouble, eh? You know, we should all go swimming together sometime. Jolly. Little Worthy? Mr. Wright. You don't know the district chief of police? Chief of police? He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district. The slow blink is what's getting me with him. It's when he just stares you down and then blinks really slowly. I just can't. Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone. So, to what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it? Nearly the amount of time since I last played. I'm joking. It's only been 3 months, it's not that bad. Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. I just thought I'd help out by bringing this. Hey, that's
my sister's muffler.
So Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler. But to think that it was just stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's car, no less. This is so unsettling. What is that? It's really quite embarrassing even for us. What's this? It's what you'd call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this. He's so tall. Oh. Chief. What kind of outfit are you running? Mr. Edgeworth? How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job? Now wait a minute, Worthy. I've no desire to hear your excuses. I'm telling you to wait. Or did you hear me? Oh. Things just got a bit tense. Have a look at this document where it says in-person charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, is there? Miles Edgeworth. That's not fair. On the day of the crime, I had your head in the clouds because you got that award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology. What? Are you serious? Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edgeworth at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edgeworth. The court accepts this new evidence. but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first. Yes? Just to be sure, I'd like you to take a look at the blade of this knife. The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not. Could you open it up for me, I wonder? Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch and... If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore. What excuse? Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I won't be able to point at people anymore.
Oh, come on, just hurry up and open it.
Okie dokie. What? Okay, that was weird. Okay, let's have a look.
There's a small tag on this knife.
It seems to say SL92.
What does that mean?
Well, I've heard something similar. DL6, or of the DL6 incident fame. Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like, it sounds kind of similar to the other one.
But it's strange.
Huh? What is?
I'm not certain, but I get the feeling I've seen this somewhere before. Letters like this, or letters that looked a lot like this somehow?
Okay. Oh, here we go.
What? Don't scare me like that.
I'm the one who's scared.
Look at this blade knife. The tip is broken off.
And this dark red stain, blood?
Oh.
Switchblade knife found at crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler, small tag attached. This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear the explanation from the chief of police himself. I'm terribly sorry, but could I ask you to testify for us about the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife? Sure thing. Not a problem. Not even a little one, really. Okay, witness testimony. Department in disorder. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in shape to do any investigation. A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. The time of the crime? 5:15. Scary coincidence, huh? It's not officially linked here to this case, so I can't talk much about it. There was a murder at the police department? A detective? That's hush-hush information, Udgy. We haven't exactly announced it yet. Objection! Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Oh yeah, because it was at the right. So someone was killed at the other one as well? So 2 people have been killed? Order, order, order! Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, so you might as well assume we're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay? I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright, 2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places?
The chances of that are really slim, scientifically speaking, of course.
I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness. Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand. Okay, let's cross-examine. And I've got to remember how, because it's been a while. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. Okay, so pressing is this one. This knife was found at the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto.
Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto.
Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So, how are things down at the department? That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do any investigating. Something happened at the police department too, huh? You got a good look in your eyes there, Ryder, my boy. Sharp, hungry. So, something did happen, and why wasn't I informed? Why weren't you informed? Well, why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You were busy. Well, with Lana's case and all. Well, what happened? What happened at the police department that day? A detective was killed at the police department, see? What a mess. On the same day, the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. And another detective was killed at the police department? That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Udgy? I'm at a loss for words. And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. Just arrested. That was quick. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you could help, Righto. I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data in your case. Oh, good one. This kid's sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only. Oh, this is kind of tough. I mean, I'm guessing they were killed via knife. Or how was the victim killed, actually? Let's go with that one, because maybe not. Well, how was the detective killed? How was he killed? Now that's the interesting part. It was what we in the force call a stabbing with a knife. A knife? That's exactly the same as Detective Goodman. That's the spirit. We're cooking now. But you know, that's not the only thing that was exactly the same. What do you mean? There were more similarities between the two cases than the cause of death. It seems like I'm going to have to press this a bit harder. The time of the crime, 5:15. Very coincidence, huh? 5:15? But that's when Detective Goodman was killed in the prosecutor's office. What? Funny, isn't it? A murder at the prosecutor's place and a murder at our place at the very same time. What are the chances? Very slim. Coincidence?
This is just my gut feeling, but I'd say there's a 0.001% chance of that happening.
Chief Gant, please tell us more about the incident. It's not officially linked to this here case, so I can't talk much about it. How can you say there's no connection? How? Because I'm the chief of police. I can't just say anything I please, Righto. You understand? Try to understand, Righto. Well, if you can prove there's a connection, more power to you. Maybe there's something that ties the two murders together? Whatever it is, I better find it and get to the bottom of this. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be a coincidence.
And that knife. What was it doing there?
I better check this knife out. This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Excuse me, special? Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else. Might that be special thing be this little tag? Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that. We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime? That's quite a mystery. And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between the knife and Goodman. This knife was found at the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you? See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto.
Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto.
Right, so that is definitely the one. I mean, the only thing I don't have an explanation for is the note, but I don't know how that would link to this knife because the numbers aren't the same or anything. Is it the note?
Objection!
It is the note, okay. Yeah, to be fair, I think it's because it's been such a gap. It was like, we needed something that didn't have an explanation, but I didn't remember that, so yeah, it's fine, it's fine. At last, an honest-to-goodness objection. This knife, this has to have something to do with Detective Goodman. What do you mean? An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from Udgy? This is great. Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL92. And this is important, why? Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim. What's this? 6 minus 7s. Oh, if you turn it the other way around, SL9. Oh, okay, I'm an idiot. Georgie, you need to get your brain on. You need to get your Ace Attorney brain on. This game does not logic the same way as other games. I need to think. I really have to be prepared to think when I'm playing this game. I wish it would allow you to have turned it round. I think that, because considering you can investigate other things, I think that would have been a bit better. Your Honor, it's upside down. Upside? The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? You should have let me do that. I think that would have been a cooler thing. Whoever wrote this note was holding the paper upside down. SL9. That's the same thing that's written on this knife's tag. Order, order! Well, Chief? Ah, well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, righto? I win? What game is this guy playing? This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room. So this knife was stolen? Yes, but on the day of the murder. It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon? Nice, nice, nice. Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved. So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edgeworth's car.
Hard to think that there isn't a connection there.
That was a bad day for the department. Okay, well, hang on. So... Okay, is anything else changed? Bad day, weren't in any shapes during the investigation. Detective was killed at the police department. The time of the crime, 5:15. Not officially linked here, then I can't talk. Okay, I wonder if... Can we push this one again? On the same day, a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot. Another detective was killed at the police department. That's a fact. Surprising, isn't it, Uji? Okay, I'm at a loss for words. I just want to see if we can... Yeah, so the suspect's been arrested. Still a lot of unanswered questions. Just wondering if I can... There we go. Where was the victim found? So tell me, where was the victim found? Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was found, but I can say the crime took place in the evidence room of the police department. The evidence room? Wait a second, I've heard of that.
The evidence room? Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now?
This knife was evidence in a case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
There's the connection between the two cases. You seem happy, Mr. Wright.
Happy? Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven. Huh, you don't say. Well, out with it, righto. What's your connection? Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright. The connection is a place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had on him the case number in the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that the detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room. Indeed. There do seem to be too many connections for it to be coincidence. I hate how unsettling his stare is. It's kind of creepy. You two make a good pair. It took my men 2 days to find out what you deducted right here. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department. See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet and all. Can we get the information unofficially? Sure, why not? It's unofficial, after all. What, really?
Who would have guessed?
I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim at the department, okay? If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything? Well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly. Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. So, victim's division. Okay, well, what division was the victim stationed in? Oh, you want to know that, do you? Do you? Criminal Affairs Division 1. The detectives responsible for homicide cases. Homicide? That would be the same division as Detective Gumshoe. It better not be Detective Gumshoe. I'm gonna riot if he dies.
Detective Goodman, who was killed in the underground parking lot, was homicide too. It's almost like a serial killer was after homicide detectives. Except this serial killer happened simultaneously, scientifically speaking.
Well, I sure hope Detective Gumshoe isn't next on the list. 2 detectives were killed at 5:15, one at the prosecutor's office and one at the police department. That can't be coincidence.
And that knife, what was it doing there?
I better check this knife out. To be fair, we already have. Right, then let's go back to this. Right. More information. Okay, let's get next bit. So, victim's ID number. Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number? Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that. Of course not. You won't tell me their name, after all. We keep a title and ID number, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189. Well, that's quite long. And we have to remember these. Drives me nuts. 82. I can't do it. You didn't even get the first one right. Well, Mr. Wright, does this tell you anything? Oh, hang on. Yes, it does. 58. Yeah, hang on. That's his number, right? Yeah, isn't that his number? 5842189. Yeah, that's the number, right? The ID number of the victim at the police department. This tells me something. What the that makes no sense. Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think. Meaning? It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean? Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you? Yeah. Witness. What is it, Miss Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night. No, it's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. The police department, the prosecutor's office, 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time. Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here. Oh ho, is it yours? No, Your Honor, I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman. Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret. Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189. And this means what exactly? Huh? Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten. You didn't even get the first number right again. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, right? What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that? Sharp as a tack, Righto. Sharp as a tack. But wait! Detective Goodman is our victim. He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot. Yet a detective, Bruce Goodman, was also killed at the police department. In the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is, the same person was killed at the same time, and in completely different locations. Order, order, order! Chief, what does this mean? Oh, no. What I want to know is why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of the case. Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered. Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case. Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error. Mr. Edgeworth, they're yours. This dude, you asshole. He didn't even know about them. Like, what? How dare? We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news. Officer Meekins.
Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait,
Oh, this dude, yeah.
Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir.
You don't mean him. According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report. Hard to believe. But your officer, he told me. He said the report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident. Detective Bruce Goodman emerged in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on the top of the report. Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
In any case, this is a serious error, a gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
Objection!
But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then I... No such luck this time, Worthy, or should I say, unworthy? What? Now, what was the second rule of evidence law,
Well, Mr. Wright?
Huh? Oh, well, it's, Rule 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on the trial. And how is this rule relevant? Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list. So, what does this mean? I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Rido over here. Good job, Rido, my boy. Huh? I was just doing my job? No. No! He's so pissed. That did not go over well. It seems we have come to the end of this trial. I know you're going through a tough time, Worthy. What with all those rumors? You were even the defendant's chair just this past December. I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part. Mr. Edgeworth, please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do. You'd better get results this time, really. You have my profound apologies, sir.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. I will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will that be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake, I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned. To be continued right now. No, that's it for today's video, guys. That's all you're getting. 3 more months. 3 months per part of this trial. No, we'll do it a bit sooner than that. February 23rd, Wright & Co. offices.
Mr. Wright? So, what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused.
Huh? Well, let's see. What is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death at 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot in the police department's evidence room.
What is this and the evidence room part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car.
Well, that's what we're gonna find out, or try to at least.
All right, let's do it.
Glad she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's gonna be much help with this.
Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright.
Huh?
Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go. Science awaits us.
February 23rd.
You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there. Who cares?
Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room. No biggie.
Besides, my sister would never do such a thing. I know it.
That oil drum, was it empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister, erasing evidence at a crime scene? Never.
Even though she says that they don't really get along, Emma really likes her sister.
That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do, and I trust her.
Big words for a high school student.
Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright.
Huh? What's that grin for?
This situation calls for one thing, and that is
luminal testing fluid. I was literally just thinking the exact same thing. Great minds think alike. Great scientific minds think alike, I should add. Luminal?
Blood is sticky stuff, you know? You can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there.
But wouldn't the police have already done those tests?
Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try.
Me? Why do I have to do it?
I'm a minor. I can't even drink yet.
We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it.
Huh, look, I'll lend you these glasses.
Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? Oh.
To test for a blood reaction, just spray the luminal on it. Like this, see? Press enter to spray it on. Okay? Let's find us some bloodstains.
There. Yeah. Okay, can we spray... Oh, just examine. Okay. I can see your eyes shining behind those glasses. So, is this a bloodstain?
It's so... Ugh.
Emma, you're shaking.
It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood.
Scientific investigation in action.
Okay, well, we'll definitely know that this is a bloodstain. But doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course.
What's odd about this scientifically? So, the bloodstain's location isn't really odd. The amount of blood kind of... Well, I don't know, because... It depends, because you'd kind of expect the majority of blood to be in the trunk, maybe, as they were bleeding out. But the amount of... Maybe, I guess the amount... The perpetrator and Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood?
I definitely think so.
Yeah, well, you'd think there'd be more blood if someone was, like, stabbing. You'd think there'd be spray, and also in the trunk of the car there'd be blood. So the whole thing is kind of weird.
I mean... Oh, look at all the blood in the sole of the victim's shoe.
It is pretty strange. If they fought here, there'd have to be more blood than this.
Hey, Mr. Wright? I'm gonna mark up the floor pans where we found the blood stain, okay?
Yeah, is there not blood in the boot of the car as well, though?
See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right?
Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too.
I saved up all my allowance to buy that.
Luminal testing fluid, so a solution for finding scientific investigation finds blood spray to use. One very proud-looking Emma Sky.
We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view on the case.
Then let's drag out that hidden evidence out into the light of day.
Yeah. It feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it?
Guess I should give this spray on anything suspicious? Huh. Oh, here.
I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Starr, you only trust your own eyes. Not bad, you two. The day-old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead doesn't really...
Oh, sorry, it's just that kind of lead in doesn't really get my mouth watering. Yeah, let's talk. Today's trial.
You certainly put me in a tight spot today.
My apologies, Miss Starr, but...
No, it's okay. It was my fault.
Oh, we know.
I witnessed everything from that security room right there, but I was afraid that it wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see. I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry.
Sorry. You lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable.
Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if this place I witnessed the events from was different.
Sorry, my brain.
I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sty stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. I swear it on my honor as a detective. She stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph is something important to tell us, but what? Okay, Detective Star. So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Star? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened the criminal when they faced me... They coughed it up.
Coughed it up?
They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know, I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Every day I dragged the dirt out of their mouths, out of suspect after suspect, and before long they called me the Cough-Up Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches.
And you were let go? Fired?
I felt that I'd found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today.
The revenge. It's all because of that case. The SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... Well, hang on. Can I show her this? Okay, hang on. Present. Can I show her these?
What do you think about this?
The SL9 incident.
It's written on that knife. And on that note, Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know.
Really?
That knife was evidence from that case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal the very day that Goodman was killed.
As I suspected, SL9 isn't over. Not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Let's see. February 23rd. We might need something to, like, get her to open up, maybe. Looks like Miss Sky is in questioning.
I hope the detectives aren't yelling at her. How did you kill him in 2 places at the same time? Can you imagine?
How is she supposed to answer that? Wait a second. Didn't Mr. Gant say they'd arrested a suspect in the police department murder?
Let's come back later.
Maybe criminal affairs department, maybe? Why everyone looks deadly serious here?
Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department.
Yeah, but the same detective who was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot.
It makes my head hurt.
Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department's crime scene.
Yes, you sound dead set on investigating, but don't mess up or we could wind up dead.
I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's going to help us much either. Okay. These are the detective desks. There are computers and files in each one. Funny, they're a lot tidier than I expect. Guess detectives don't spend their time at the desks. Entrance? It's even busier today than it was here yesterday.
The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring.
I suppose it makes sense. The detective did get killed here after all.
So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime, according to the pamphlet we got at the front desk.
Here it is. She's like a kid at an amusement park.
Oh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look.
Yeah, I don't really think there's much I need to look around here, to be fair. Oh, guard station? February 23rd, got evidence room entrance, guard station. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric.
According to the pamphlet, this is the guard station for the evidence room.
So beyond the door is the evidence room? The scene of the crime?
I'm sure it seems that way.
Oh. What's wrong?
It's those cacti. They're so prickly, so imposing. It's hard to think straight.
If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where's the guard?
I have a feeling I know who he is already.
Okay, let's examine in here.
Yipes, these sure are prickly. They must be the real deal.
I would think just one big one would be sufficient.
These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually.
How so?
Encased in a cold, rigid cell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her.
I'm not sure I see the resemblance.
It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'd hope so.
There is a security guard uniform hanging here.
It looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly.
A leather jacket, a leather pants, leather... What was this called again? A punchy? A paunchy? A pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it.
It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information to myself for the time being. A poochie. Right, what else we got? Oh, computer. It looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here.
There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there.
I bet we could. There's a lasso. Is it meant to be like a trap?
Look, on the floor, a lasso.
Looks like it's set up to trap something.
A trap here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here. But the lasso missed.
You sure have an active imagination. Anywhere else to look? The evidence room is beyond that door.
Let's just walk in. It won't open.
You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. Oh dear. Okay. And Texas. Okay, so...
The swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon.
But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way.
Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch.
I'd say it's more of a yuck myself.
That one?
If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime?
I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime? Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were.
The 5 minutes weren't the problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem.
Listen, little girl.
I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't going to have it disregarded again.
Just like that time.
That time. Ooh, maybe she'll talk about it now? There we go. Oops, that was it. I just need to do that a little bit more, like push people a bit more.
That incident really opened my eyes to the truth.
We're nothing to them. Disposable.
Disposable? To who?
2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled.
Ooh.
The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So, they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence of a sort, made up evidence.
What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence?
The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved in the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job.
And you were one of those?
Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, could it be? Exactly. Detective Jake Marshall.
Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail. Officer Jake Marshall.
Well, things take a little twist, don't they? As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined. And then it was over. He was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There was another side to that case, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us.
Wait, those lunches you sell?
There is only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Starr's old boyfriends, how many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives of SL9 have disappeared, we find new evidence.
There has to be a connection.
So, rookie. What?
It seems like you're serious about investigating this case.
Yes.
Then you should take this.
A Salisbury steak lunch?
I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat.
Steak lunch. Excellent for putting Officer Marshall in a good mood. Nice.
Miss Star? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his, are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister, it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then.
This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective.
But now he's so cold.
Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that.
I see. Thank you.
Officer Jake Marshall, Alright, there we go. Now we've got a jump in the right direction. Okay, so nothing here. Let's go to the criminal affairs and then go to the entrance. There we go. February 23rd. There we go. This place is charged with frantic energy as always. Please.
Huh? Wasn't that...
One steak lunch, please. Oh, no, that's not his voice. Oh my god, it's been so long. One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's not the time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland.
Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale.
I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal. Now I just need evidence. The criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? On the same day the detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? And the perpetrator, do you have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arresting him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch, pronto. Standing around here talking ain't gonna fill my belly. As long as he's okay.
Wait, don't leave.
If you want to know more, then head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figured he's down there having a good cry. Later.
He ran off to the evidence room.
Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Okay, so... No, okay, so let's go to the... where is it? How do I get there from here? Hang on. Here? Detention center, there we go. Let's see who's been arrested.
Still, I do feel better about things, a little. I mean, they caught the guy who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they?
I'm getting all the names mixed up. Yeah, I guess they did. Best not to go too far down the road right now, things will just get confusing. Ooh.
What was that?
So that's what I'm saying, me a perpetrator. I'd rather say I was perpetrated against, so that's what I'd say. Oh, him?
Hi. Greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are.
It's him.
Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekins. So you're a guard here at the detention center?
No, sir. Not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman, like a little lost lamb, sir.
Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report?
No, sir. How should I say this? Wait, isn't he... Is he... You... Officer Meekins, you didn't... Did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir.
What?
Now, this is an unexpected turn of events. Okay, well... What is the turn of the events? Is that is he been accused of the crime? The day of the crime? Sir, I'm a patrolman with general affairs, sir. Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, and so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir.
So normally there's a guard at the evidence room?
That's right, sir, because evidence is kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer, there was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. A suspicious person. Yeah! What the heck is this guy doing?
So what happened then?
After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red. I blacked out. And then when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days?
Might I ask what happened to your hand?
Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand. Just like Miss Sky.
Oh. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office.
First things first. Tell us how you hurt your hand. Okay, so... I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. If you have to label me as a perpetrator or a victim, sir, then label me a victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention and alive and well at that. Well, yes, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him? Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives.
So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him?
Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir, none. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. What happened to your hand? About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir,
Don't you think you should just confess?
But but there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell you the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing I knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were, huh? Then when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir, all alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared.
What?
Then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock. Oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared?
That's some story.
Huh. To me, it doesn't sound like he was involved, if I'm being honest. It sounds like it's his blood that they found. Officer Meekins, this is for you. Eek! I'm scared enough, sir. It's okay, I just wanted you to take a look at it. That's it, sir, last night, sir, that's the one. I was an apple, sir, in my dream, sir, and I was being peeled.
Oh, on second thought, you don't have to look at the knife.
He's overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. Oh, bless him. Officer Meekins, could you take a look at this? I'm sorry, sir, really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Maybe you should ask Mr. Edgeworth, sir.
He's passing the buck, Mr. Wright.
It takes a special kind of man to pass the book to Edgeworth. Okay, hang on, let me show him this. Officer Meekins, have a look at this. Go ahead, sir, laugh. Laugh at me, sir. Haha, what? I know what you want to say. You're gonna tell me how she is one just like it.
Me? Why would I?
I know, sir, I know. I'm the only one without a girl with matching badges. Nowhere. I'm alone, all alone. Is that so wrong? Life isn't all about high school sweethearts and youthful romance, sir. Is he talking about those badges on her coat? Huh. I like to think there's a difference between my badge and a fashion accessory. Oh man, what does he have to say about this? Officer Meekins, can you take a look at this? I'm sorry, so really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Maybe you should ask Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Okay. Right, so passing the book. Okay. Maybe if we present the ID, because we obviously now have this discrepancy, and like, or maybe like he can identify him.
Do you think you could take a look at this?
Hey! That's it, sir, that's it, that's it!
That's what?
My head was blank until this very moment. But sir, now I remember, sir.
You mean you remember what happened?
Correct! That card was the cause of it all.
This ID card?
Exactly, sir, that's it! Nothing could be more exact, sir, nothing! I better pry this one a little deeper. Oh, okay, hang on, do we have some stuff? Yeah, crime details. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. I didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman who was in the evidence room.
And that's why you thought he looked suspicious? Yeah, sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
So you asked Detective Goodman to show you his ID card. What did he do?
That's the thing. Suddenly he pointed a knife at me.
What?
Sir, I assured you I was flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him.
Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him?
Do unto others before they do unto you, my father's words, sir.
What happened then?
Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. And when I awoke, I was here.
Right. Well, reason for arrest.
So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you?
What do you mean, Emma?
Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman. And the victim who he met at the scene of the crime didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim really was the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir, that's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines.
Uh-huh, but you still ended up here?
They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room. That's what they said.
But you don't remember the events clearly?
No, but the videotape is quite clear.
Huh? Videotape?
From the security camera. The crime, my crime, the crime I swore to stamp out. It's there, it's me, it's on tape.
And you waited until now to tell us this?
I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge. I don't deserve it.
No, thanks. I have my own. Well, I guess we better go check out the crime scene. Okay. Right, now we can go. So if we go Criminal Affairs Department. Aha, here we go.
Hey, Mr. Wright. Look who's standing over at the Chief of Detectives' desk.
It's Police Chief Gant. Oh, great. And you're sure this is all, You know what it means if there's anything missing.
Sir, I'm sure it's literally totally perfect.
We checked all of his drawers. Under his seat cushion, behind his computer monitor, inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal?
Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir.
The Chief of Detectives is looking a little flustered. Righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Gant, reporting for duty, sir.
Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright?
Okay, let's talk to him. Edgeworth. Is Edgeworth gonna be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him.
Sounds like an inquisition.
Yep, well, they had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? It doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, right, Righto? Von Karma. We did, oh my god.
Yes, Von Karma.
Probably one of my favourite voices to do in this, like, this playthrough. The legend he was undefeated in his 40-year career, but in court you fixed it so he was caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they'd just about do anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy.
What?
You bitch, he set this up 100%. Evidence room. It's downright odd, I tell you. Detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean. There being the prosecutors, I assume.
Scientifically speaking, it's impossible.
Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time. That's what it says. What evidence is this? Now, Righto. I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive and I can't talk about it. I wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets, can't stand them. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the Chief of Detectives trap shut.
He was the one you were picking on earlier?
Huh, you saw that? Whoops. I wonder what it is he wanted the Chief of Detectives to do.
Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him.
I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Sorry, Righto. I'm through with that stuff. Through, I say.
Go find the guy that can't seem to sit still out there, the busy one.
The guy who can't sit still? Does he mean Detective Gumshoe? Either him or the dancing blue badger.
I was wondering, could you take a look at this? Oh, is he not gonna say is he not gonna say anything? Maybe talk to him? Oh, sorry I had to see that.
What exactly did the chief of police want you to do?
Well, see over there? That's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check it for anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can.
So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here?
Of course not. Well, except for this.
Oh, what? You kept something?
Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. It's a lost item report, but it's only half complete.
A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st.
Better make note of that just in case. Good. Oh, here we go. So, lost item report. I should really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Alright, well hang on then. Maybe we can talk to him now. There we go. Reach the Twitter. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. Well, I never thought the day would come when Rido asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room. I don't like how he stops and stares for so long. It's kind of creepy, if I'm being honest. Now, Rido. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't need to investigate after all. Rido, please, do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50? I give him $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out.
It just goes to show you never know until you ask.
And for you here, you can borrow this.
Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it?
That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it.
Yes, sir. It's an honor.
You just run along and do your best now. Later, folks.
Heh, looks pretty cool in my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, real ID.
You seem happy.
Yes, sir. Because, sir, we get to go into the evidence room now, sir.
I think this place is bad influence on the girl. Okay, right, so now we can go. Okay. Let's... there we go. Oh no, hang on. Examine? Can we use it here, maybe? The evidence room is beyond that door.
And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open.
The card reader is turned off, see?
What is the security guard thinking?
Howdy, partners. Well, well, what's made my bambina sky so gray? Officer Marshall. Why does it have to be him? What's that why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here is my saloon.
We're here to investigate the crime scene.
Yeehaw, that card you got there on your chest? That's better than sheriff's badge in these parts.
Yeehaw?
Well, what are you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. Looks like the card reader is on again. While we're here, wonder if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said you had no mind to tangle with his hombres. He's got nothing to say? Guard station.
I was wondering if we could talk to you.
Sorry, Bambina, but I'm off to roam the lands like a tumbleweed in the wide prairie. Like a gunslinger loading his six-shooter, I say a little prayer.
Oh? What was that all about, Mr. Wright?
I think he's just too hungry to talk.
You're just saying that because his stomach was growling. You have no idea what he was talking about either.
Well, in any case, we need to get cracking on this investigation pronto. Well, hang on then.
I was wondering if we could talk to you.
Oh, okay. So, we need to feed him. That noise. Right, well, hang on then. Let's do present and present him with this. Oh. Let's try that again. Present him with it. That smell. Ugh, reminds me of Texas.
So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas?
No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby?
Yeah, Miss Starr.
What's this?
What? What's wrong?
A fillet steak lunch, I see.
I don't see. I wonder what it means.
Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask anything. Oh, smack. Finally, it seems like
He's willing to talk.
okay. Right, let's talk to him then. Right, guard station. Let's try again.
Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right?
You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. That poor little doggy. Poor guy, I keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this, but since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know?
So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place?
Well, I reckon I was galloping down the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy.
No, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy.
There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take the machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli to sneak in next to your steak, you know?
Okay. Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago.
It was always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. It's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire.
You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you?
That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells like a bad game of poker. I can't let it go. That's all there is to it.
What kind of case was it anyway? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened.
There are some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, that case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. Two days ago? The day of our case? That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. Oh, okay. Criticism. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do.
Only 2 of them? There must be a dozen.
Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steak. The easiest ones to understand are here are these security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours.
And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are those on the tapes?
I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you'll need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. So this is the ID card record.
Hey, I've seen that somewhere before.
Sorry, Bambina. Can't show you more than that.
Huh?
I haven't heard whether or not this is related to the case yet.
Mr. Wright, I saw the number on the record just now. I've seen that number before.
Maybe there's some way I can prove the record is tied to the stabbing. Okay, transferal. Sorry, but could you explain this whole transferal thing about? We only keep evidence from solved cases in this room. They are kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years, so we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So, what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in an underground vault at the County Sheriff's Office. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February.
I see now.
Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed dead forever. Never to be reopened again, never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to SL9 2 days ago. Damn, okay, so let's see what we can present him with. So, hang on. The sheriff is back in the Wild West, didn't place much faith in evidence. About the only thing they trusted was their shooting hand.
This is neither Wild nor West here.
But that and this are 2 entirely different things.
I guess so, huh? I'm lost.
Looks like we need some evidence to get anywhere with this guy. Okay, well, hang on. I want to show you my badge first. The sheriff is back in the Wild West, didn't much play. Oh, okay. Oh, nothing. Okay. Right, well, hang on. Let me have a look at this. Lost Night Report, Bruce Goodman, ID. Oh, it could be an S. Oh, interesting. Okay. Let's present this. Okay, so not that one. If it's to do with a badge number, it's probably going to be... I mean, we've got this badge, don't we?
See this? This is the victim's ID card.
The one that was on the ground in the parking lot? The number on this is 584-2189.
Officer Marshall, Show us the ID card record again.
I don't think his number was on there. Oh no, 5842189. There, it is there.
Look, the 4th number, it's a perfect match.
It was used at 5:14, right before the stabbing. What's more, there's only one of them cards in the world.
So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room.
But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to display his ID card. So you asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing! Suddenly he pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. Nice. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs here. Okay. The sheriff's back. Oh yeah, he didn't have one, did he? Right, okay. So, alright, okay, right, so can we go into the evidence room now? Yeah, there we go. So February 23rd, evidence room, sector 3. It's quiet. The investigation must be over.
So this is the evidence room. It really is kind of like a graveyard.
Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue.
Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me.
Oh.
Eek!
Whoa!
Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. Oh, is it true what I heard? Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Heck, if anyone asks me, sir, can I borrow $50, I give him $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate the room to your heart's content, knock yourself out. Yeah, it's true. So, Chief of Police Gant, will loan anyone $50? Even me?
Oh, so that's what you were talking about.
Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today?
Boss for a day.
But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Scene of the stabbing of a detective at the PD. Okay. Alright, let's talk. Boss for a day.
So, Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for the day?
That's right. It's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department.
But if you're a boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings?
They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm going to take control and put this case to rest. In my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker in here too, Detective Gumshoe? Of course. I'm a detective, after all. They gave me a locker that only I can open, pal.
Only you can open?
Oh, okay. Edgeworth. I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth no matter what happens.
So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee right now, right?
They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. I guess this is what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end of Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe we can get him to tell us more about the case. Evidence lockers. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only one detective can open it. Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my 3rd card since entering the force already.
That sounds like a lot.
Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand.
Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint?
Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So only the locker we can open is our own.
Funny, they look like normal lockers.
These are the latest model. There's a trick in the handles, see?
The handles?
On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it,
zzz, you get a shock.
If that's what happened, my hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Oh, okay. So only the assigned detective's prints can unlock it, indicate a lamp lights up when it's open. Okay, let's present him a few things. So let's present the ID card record. Could you take a look at this? This is the ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Ah, I heard of the rumors. So it was Goodman who came in here at the time of the murder. Whoa!
What is it?
That second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth.
What?
Oh, for God's sake. Why would Mr. Edgeworth have come to the evidence room?
Really?
Okay, I mean, that was quite a while beforehand, but still, we need to know the one, right, like the third and we need to know that one. But it looks like that person came in around the same time as Edgeworth, so, okay. Allow me to say one thing, speaking as a detective. If I see a piece of evidence I know nothing about, I say nothing. That's fine. You bet it's fine, pal. Okay, I wonder, can we present this? Detective Goodman's note and that switchblade knife. I bet Edgeworth was the one most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection. That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? Guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there are some loose ends left on that case. Just wondering, is there anything else? That one. Found in Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed Mr. Edgeworth's knife, huh? What would drive Chief Prosecutor Scott to do such a thing? Wait, I didn't mean... I'm sure... Of course someone else did it, really. Someone who must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, that's it. That's the King of Prosecutors Award that Mr. Edgeworth got the other day. Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe? Of course, pal. Got an award for diligence myself. Congratulations.
I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken?
Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later. Apparently he's forgotten. Okay. That's the victim, Detective Goodman's ID card. These days, everything's card and secret numbers. I can never relax. That's only because you always lose your card. I always forget my secret number too. Scary, huh? My face should be ID enough. What's the world coming to? Detective Gumshoe, rebel against the system. Okay. SL9 incident. Now that was a bloody violent case. Violent, so it was a murder. A serial killing. A serial killing. Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him.
And this was 2 years ago?
That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight. And started the rumor mill. Rumors about forged evidence. It was supposed to be all cleaned up with the transferal the other day. It was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman, that is.
Huh? What do you mean?
Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 instance, see?
So that switchblade knife.
The victim took the knife out of evidence and... The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Maybe present this again? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else to look at. Okay. Right, well let's have an examine around the room. Okay.
Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner.
That looks like a car door.
There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame.
Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away?
Hey, that's one of those human profiles for range testing.
He's been shot square in the forehead.
Better him than us.
There's something sticking out of here.
Looks like a shirt. Guess it must be evidence for some case.
I wonder if Detective Gumshoe put this here. There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of slob. I'm not responsible for the evidence here. That said, I bet that evidence locker was open recently.
How do you know?
If you leave things hanging out like that, the evidence gets dirty or ripped. The guard checks on that kind of stuff and notifies the detective responsible. How many times have I been breathing down my neck about some silly evidence?
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe leaves evidence hanging out a lot too. Bet he doesn't tuck his shirt in under that trench coat either.
If you're going to talk behind someone's back, then don't do it right in front of them, pal.
This place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams.
I'm not sure about the dreams.
It won't open.
Did you really think it would? Hey pal, our security is high tech around here. Okay, so we can't check these, that's fine. Let's have a look at this. Some sort of bulky equipment is gathering dust here.
What a sorry-looking fishing pole that is.
Ah, that's my personal pole. I never did get around to using it. Wait, I've seen that somewhere before. Right, pal, that's the metal detector, the one that led to the solving the case out in Gourd Lake, remember? Oh, right. Well, that feels like it was ages ago. And, I don't think I've seen this one before. Oh, that's a bug sweeper. I'm sure it'll come in handy in solving some cases sooner or later. That cheap-looking box. You can't judge a person or a machine by their cover. You gotta look at their heart. Okie dokie, I'll take your word for it. Okay, so can't do anything there. Can I spray this stuff? Like, around, see if there's, like, any blood. No. It looks like I've not found any here. Let's see. I don't know if I can move over to the other side of the room because it looked like there was some stuff to look at. Oh, slide. That's the one. I was like, sure. Oh, okay, there's literally a handprint. I was like, surely I can look at the other side of the room. Okay, so hang on. So I've looked at these. Okay, well, there's a big fucking handprint there. What's this? Blood.
It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here.
Looks like someone tried to wipe it off.
Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room?
We should use her testing fluids to check it out. Okay, so let's do that again then. So, spray. Okay, so we definitely got that.
I knew it. This is someone's right handprint.
What? What's the matter, detective? This locker. It's mine. It's yours? Please, you have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pal? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down in the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police.
What? But you're a detective.
Yeah, just hang on a minute. It might not be that bad. Right, let's see. Is there... Oh, there's a load of blood there. Okay. Oh, but hang on, though. There is paint there, too. Okay. Right. Oh, hang on. Did I not...
Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces.
Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case.
The case?
The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of the pieces there? Another piece of SL9 evidence. Take a closer look. I wonder what shape these pieces were in before they broke.
You want to try and put it back together?
Huh, good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up.
That's why I always carry around a tube of glue.
Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Okay. So hang on. So we want something with like a jagged edge? No, that's not gonna fit. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Okay. Then something like long. Maybe that one? Yeah. Then might be that. Yeah. And then yeah, not quite. I think it's something thinner. Maybe that one? No. Definitely not that. Definitely not that. There we go. And then what is it? Oh, no, that... Okay, I thought it might be that one. Not that one. That one. Nope. Go. sure what the hell that is meant to be. It actually might be this one. There we go. What is that? I've got absolutely... It looks like some kind of vase, but... I don't have any more pieces. I was going to say I don't have any more pieces, but...
Huh? Well, I think we did it. Some of the pieces are missing.
Yeah, I got that far. 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it.
Were some pieces stolen?
I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, doesn't it look like the most stable kind of jar?
I kind of understand how it got broken.
Unstable jar. Jar pieces back from fragments found at the crime scene, but there's definitely blood on it though. Okay, let's continue. Let's see.
Hey, look! They're hard to make out, but there are some dark red stains here.
Looks like blood.
Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when he was stabbed?
Not likely.
This blood
Looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. That might be when the blood got on it. Okay. That's probably it to look at, to be honest.
Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom.
That's weird.
I wonder which side is up.
Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar?
At least it doesn't collect dust inside, right?
I guess so. Still weird though. Okay, I think that's all that we can look at with that. Right, so then let's go back to examining things.
What is a saw and paint doing here?
Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression.
True art? I noticed that there's blue and yellow paint here.
Perhaps we're witnessing the birthplace of the Blue Badger? Well, you might say this is my studio. Here, in the evidence room. Looks like there's more paint up there as well. Okay. Right. So there's an open locker there.
Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above it, the door's lit.
That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker?
Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that?
Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. There's some gloves here.
Someone's left a glove here, but only one.
Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know. You mean SL9? Does have a tag on it. Rubber glove, there we go. Extremely thin rubber glove. If you put these pieces together, it makes a jar.
There are 2 things that bother me. 1, why are some of the pieces missing? And 2, doesn't it seem a little unstable?
No wonder it broke. I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. Okay, so the other thing I want to do, because I did it before, but it didn't like do its thing, is I sprayed it over here. Oh, there we go. I probably just didn't spray enough. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien?
This proves that something really happened in front of this locker.
I'll make a load of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. Okay, well, we've definitely found blood. Is there any more anywhere else, maybe? On the locker, maybe? Just check everywhere else. Make sure there's no more. Not seeing any. There's none. No, doesn't seem to be any anywhere else. Okay. Right, so examine. No, sorry. I want to court record. Check this glove. The tag says SL911. I guess this is another piece of evidence from that case.
You know, I never did care for the word tag. It's confusing.
Huh? What's so confusing about that?
Do you know how many other words sound like it? Bag, gag, nag, lag, zag.
Zag? Is that a word?
Do you challenge me?
What, are we playing a word game now? Have a look at what else. Anything else on it? No, it just looks like a very clean glove. Okay. Oh.
That's the door we just came through.
Looks like you don't need an ID card to get out.
I wonder what would happen if Officer Marshall cut the power while we were inside.
Let's hope he remembers we're in here. Let's hope. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything else, but I feel like I need to go and have a conversation with Edgeworth if I can find him. Can't open the lockers if your fingerprint doesn't match. If you can open it, then I'll give you 50 cents.
Note, the police department lacks faith in its lock system.
After all, Detective Goodman was stabbed here after opening his locker. But at the same time, he was found dead over at the prosecutor's office.
Maybe now I've found the other blood, I can, like, spray again.
Oh! Oh, I'm sure I sprayed here before, though. Like, maybe it needed to, like, connect them.
Why am I getting a reaction here?
There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot as he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal.
What, this? It's called luminal testing fluid.
Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow 50 bucks from the chief.
Where do you get
This, Emma.
I always buy it mail order.
Well, I better jot this down on the floor plans. Hey, pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to be going to do? It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm gonna give them my report for the day. It might help, you know.
Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer?
The one that says... Oh, the one that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say too. Oh, there we go. Finally. Right. Let's go and see if I can find the man. Then... There we go. Here we go. Okay, February 23rd, High Prosecutor's Office. Ah, guests, my apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave, so long. Is Edgeworth here?
There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand.
Right. Is the hotel bring him tea service?
Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry?
I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Oh. I'm getting the voices all wrong today. Sorry, just honestly, I'm having a moment. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Yes, he brought me the latest information, it seems.
Really? Was he helpful?
Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me somehow. The real info's on the other side, Edgeworth.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him.
Let's talk to him first, inquiry committee. So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this as not a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time, again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Tomorrow's trial. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened. They gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
The police department?
Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you? Why? All along, I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still. Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Okay, let's present some stuff to him. So we need to present him with this. Oh, right. I'd better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage. Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less.
The chief of police?
He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? So it would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case, I better make note of it. Unrelated case, evidence from a past case of Edgeworth's brought back to his office by Gant's request. Stubborn as always, I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. Oh my god, I've got so many things now. Right, please. I'm the prosecutor on this case. You don't expect me to sit here and discuss the case with you over a cup of tea. I'll pass on the tea. Just tell me about the case.
Mr. Wright! Mr. Edgeworth has told you no in a very polite manner.
Whose side are you on, anyway? Maybe if I just show him the best evidence, I can get some reaction out of him. Okay, probably just the no. I know you. You've probably got hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on. The SL9 incident. And some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are a man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. He must be talking about that, his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. You got him? Yeah, allegations of forgery. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago then too. He was a top officer and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth?
What I want to know is, why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't? Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something.
My sister? What?
If you were still studying forensic science.
Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today Mr. Wright and I were using this.
Luminal testing fluid. Well then, you might have use for this.
Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints?
It's been chemically treated for better adhesion.
For me? Are you sure? Oh, we are the enemy, you know.
I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks. How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? So, it recovers fingerprints from handprints for comparison for fingerprint file. Oh, well, we've got some at the scene, so that's good.
Well, let's get going. Our one last investigation.
Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Oh, bless him. He's just having an awful time of it, isn't he? Okay, so let's go back to the... Everyone's gone now. Evidence room. Okay, right. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint.
Here, in this blood on the detective evidence locker.
Let's use the secret weapon we just borrowed.
Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger.
A finger?
Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So let's choose the finger that will have left behind the clearest print.
I really can't tell the difference at a glance.
Quit procrastinating and choose a finger.
Probably that one.
Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done.
Emma's starting to get that sparkle in her eyes.
First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around.
Huh? How do you do that?
With A, see?
Ah, looks like that did the trick.
The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow it away the excess.
Huh? How do I do that?
With Y. Exciting, I know.
Imagine you're blowing out
the candles on a birthday cake, see?
Wow, that looks like fun. Might take some getting used to, though.
It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick, blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright.
I guess I'd better give it a try. And then blow.
Ah, you did it! You found one!
But this looks nothing like a fingerprint.
Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't.
What does it mean?
I think it means we're out of luck.
Out of luck?
The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves.
Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here.
Hey, calm down. That's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigation. But it does seem a shame. Well, we're at it. Why don't we look for other prints?
Other prints?
Looking at the locker door again closely...
Oh, there.
It seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well.
Let's see if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. Yeah, there. I don't know, like, exactly how much I'm supposed to do, so I'm just gonna yeet and blow. Ooh, we got lucky. Okay. Blow. Do I need to do more? Is there more over here? I've probably missed like a corner or something. I'm guessing anyway, I've got no idea. We've got a really clear print to me though.
Yay, a print so clear it's dazzling.
Dazzling?
Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away.
So we're not done yet? This is quite a process.
Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right?
I guess she's right.
Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth and point out the person you think left these prints.
Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was?
I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in...
Sorry, hiccups.
Different places, right? That means the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So, whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker?
Whoever they belong to. So, oh, hang on. Right, so... Gumshoe, right? It's Gumshoe's locker? Yeah.
Aha! So these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me this so what look.
I guess that's probably what I was thinking. So what?
Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, but there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright.
Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room. Let's check it out. Okay, over here. This is where we got a luminal fluid reaction, right?
Right! There was a handprint there. Okay, wanna try using this?
There go her eyes sparkling again. Yeah, let's check for prints.
Okay,
let's check for prints.
That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first.
What?
The area with the blood was wiped away, right?
We only ended up finding it using chemical means.
Any prints in that area will have been wiped away too.
Oh, right. So that means no prints.
Would you say the probability of our hypothesis is high?
Don't ask me.
Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away.
Prints other than the ones left by the bloody hand. Oh, hang on. Gonna do it all over just in case. It's definitely a process. Really reminds me of the like CSI games I used to play as a kid. It's just what it makes me think of. And what a great time I had. Right. Yeah, I don't think we fully got it. You've really got to like lay it on. Coat it. There we go. Right, so let's have a look. So, no. Oh, that looks similar. Hang on. Oh. Wait, what? It's his fingerprint? Hey, these fingerprints, they...
Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know?
It's Officer Marshall.
Huh?
Officer Jake Marshall? Marshall's fingerprint. Found a bloody handprint left in the evidence room. The print had been wiped.
That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not involved in the crime.
Emma, this is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction, the blood on the fingerprints are in the same place.
Oh.
So, we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain.
But why would Officer Marshall...
Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. I guess this is what you'd call decisive evidence.
I don't believe it.
Sorry, mate. Trial time. February 24th.
So, what do you think, Mr. Wright?
I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes.
Lana.
Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though.
So, how'd it go?
It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain.
A plea bargain? What do you mean by that?
We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't see capital punishment. That's what I meant, Emma.
But Lana, don't tell me you...
Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall.
What kind of trace evidence?
Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you?
In order to defend my sister, you're going to accuse Mr. Marshall?
We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye?
Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright.
Alright. Gotta do what we gotta do. It's a 10 a.m. District Court, number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. And yet, the victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared.
Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Wow, this is one mess of trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. And in so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself.
Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself.
And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day of the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? Oh, this is gonna be fun. Oh boy, things are getting wild from the get-go. He's out for blood. He is like... Here we go. Officer Meekins. Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir. I'm Officer Mr. Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir.
So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've gotta believe me, sir.
Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is...
Sir, what I would call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults cannot possibly comprehend.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins.
Yes, sir.
Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order.
Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir.
You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm.
Crime report, sir.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake.
So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you?
Do unto others before they do unto you. That's what Meakin's family motto, sir.
I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness.
Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Yes, we do. Let's press everything. Crime report, sir.
Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day.
Mr. Meekins, you work in General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir. I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir.
Yikes, now there's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were to be given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Badger?
Yes, sir, the lovely police mascot created by the Chief of Detectives, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
So creepy.
I see. Sounds like a very, important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around. I relocated the Blue Badger into the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went into the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there?
I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room.
In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right?
Is it the 596?
There it is! I found it! It's the one right here.
Could you please read us the number?
Yes, sir. It's 4989596. That's my number, sir.
I see. Huh. But the number 4989596 is shown to be used twice. Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down.
I see. So it was during that second time when...
Yes, sir. That was when I spotted the man on the security screen.
They'd added to the ID card record. But we still don't have the top one.
I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked.
So you were attacked. Can you please tell us what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir. A knife.
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was.
You aren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be... When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. I fought for my life, and then I did it.
What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I know I don't look like the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife?
I spun him around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man.
I see. He must have been desperate.
The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in the sea of my blood, and then the next thing I knew...
Yes?
He punched me right in my face, sir. After that, I passed out, until another officer smacked me awake.
About what time did you regain consciousness?
No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious.
Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain.
That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned him to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy now.
I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir.
The chief delivered it? What is that? A videotape?
Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room.
Objection!
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake.
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at.
Gant is so involved. I'm sorry. If he's not a serial killer and is literally guilty of this case, I don't know what. Like, he has to be, right? He has to be involved. This dude is so dodgy. He has to be. Looks like communication with the police department is as good as ever.
Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
A video of a real murder. Just what are we getting ourselves into?
It's so creepy. Oh. Damn, it's like a real video. Oh my god. Oh, that's so weird seeing like characters move and everything. Okay, so the glove fell out. It's in there having a look. There's Meekins. Dude, that's so weird seeing them with this animation style. I actually really like it. That's really cool. Oh! Oh, and it, of course it crops away the minute. He's gone. But he's not on the floor or anything. Well, it just shows Meekins unconscious. It doesn't show an actual murder.
Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal affairs department, sir. It is the Blue Badger, sir.
Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Right, security video added.
Yes, well anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter, someone in the evidence room and some sort of, activity did take place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that alright with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir, as you wish, sir.
Mystery man. Okay, round 2.
His face can't be seen clearly in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened requested Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprinted activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Okay, mystery man. Right, well, let's push him on everything first and go from there.
His face can clearly be seen in the video.
Tell me, were you able to get a good look at him? At the face of the man who attacked you with a knife?
Sir, if you must label of not seen or seen this man's face, I believe I would have been classified as the latter.
The latter? But you were standing right in front of him, were you not?
More to the point, you are the person who fought him, aren't you? Oh, yes, sir, but I didn't get a clear look at his face, sir. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking to them, you see.
Yeah, that's a good trait for a police officer.
Still, I'm sure it was him. I'll bet my badge on it. But
there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. But you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, what if it was Jake? What if he was like in disguise for some reason? The fingerprint is the only thing that doesn't really work, but if he was wearing gloves, like we know that someone put a bloody handprint with gloves on and then by the door it was Jake. So I wonder if, this wasn't actually him.
Well, I suppose you might say that. That is if you must label people as having seen or not seen it.
Since his face cannot be identified in the video, only you can verify it.
Why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or,
Meekins. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir.
You claimed the man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him.
I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprints to do.
About these lockers, is there no other way to open them?
No, sir. I myself have tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir.
I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to.
Exactly my point, sir. This too. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir.
How do you know the information?
I've heard rumors, sir, from people in the know, sir.
People in the know?
The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint.
So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it.
However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face.
Sir, if I may say something, sir.
Please do. After all, you are the one being examined.
I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify enough to this, sir.
Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find problem with it.
Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again.
Is there a problem with the security video? I mean, it seems like he's leading us that way, so let's push where there's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to the possibility that the man may not have been Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction?
Objection!
Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose that we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out. Very well, proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us this contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video? This is the first time I've ever had to do that.
You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause at the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching this video.
How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates this man may not be Detective Goodman? Okay. That's pause. Okay. There's a handprint on his face. Right. I want to see when he first comes into view. Is there anything to do with him? Not that I'm seeing. Okay. Was he wearing gloves? He wasn't wearing gloves, was he? Poor Goodman. Let's watch it again. I need to go back and... Oh, is that literally... Let's have another look. The glove falling out was weird. I feel like there's some significance in that. Let me have a look. Was that light on? Let me have another look. If it's not this, then it might be the... Because the glove falling out seems significant. More so than that blood on his shoulder. Oh, hang on. How fast forward? No, rewind. It's already on. Which means the locker's open, right? I think. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If it's a match, the light turns on and the lock is released. Who is that in Gumshoe's locker, by the way? I'm curious. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. This is gonna forever haunt my dreams. Look at, so creepy. But yeah, it's already on, which means that locker's open. Yeah, I thought the glove falling was weird. Which then means he can just open it. Yeah. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. See, is he not wearing gloves? Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit. Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. I'm not even going to attempt to make that noise. Order, order! What is the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker was unlocked on the day of the crime.
Objection!
But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes, why wasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the system sensor? Something jam the sensor? Say, there's something else that seems out of place on this video.
Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in the footage.
Very well, let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked, Mr. Wright. I did not even see. I want to get to the bit where the glove falls out. No, sorry, fast. Oh, I didn't mean to press that. I pressed the wrong one. Sorry. That was a mistake. Sorry. I was trying to do fast forward. It's because I'm so used to pressing that button. It's the thing that's weird is the glove falling out. Like, that's weird to me. Like, he didn't even... Oh, right, rewind. Pause. The glove is weird. Please watch closely. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. How many times will I have to see this cursed image? I do really like that they included this, though. It feels really cool. It feels very, like, you know... I'm like, oh, it makes it feel so real. The glove falling out, yeah. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker.
But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my...
We can't be sure that that item was completely inside the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Oh my god. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? Oh, like someone unlocked it and then put the glove there to stop it from closing. might be it. Also, I'm sorry, but how many times do we need to see this video? Just show us they're really just flexing this video. They want us to know that they've put this in here. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor.
Oh, I understand now, sir. Just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me.
But the object would have been extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, but it would have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator.
Yes, an insulator. But at a crime scene?
There just might have been something like that that fits the description.
But sir, by insulator, you don't mean...
I think I finally got this figured out.
Very well. Will the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was this insulator that was stuck in the locker door? It was the gloves.
That. Rubber glove. I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove.
But we can't be sure that was the victim's locker.
It has a tag that says SL9 incident. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. This lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. This is not so, Officer Meekins.
Sir, it would appear so, sir.
Order, order, order!
So we are to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman?
Objection!
Do not be misled, Your Honor.
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this.
What?
Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Sir, me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Is this a joke? Very well, begin your testimony. Mystery man number 2. Okay, let's see what he has to say this time.
There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. The edge of the evidence room, one must use their ID card. And when an ID card is used, there is a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used this card.
An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without... Oh, wait, hang on. Let me look at that again, sorry. It's like literally the same time, like it's very close. I guess it was quite close in the video actually.
Without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room?
That's a great question, Judge, your legend. And also, where are the people afterwards? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Oh, that was the wrong voice. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff.
Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end.
Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon.
Right, I see.
Now let's just move on to the cross-examination. Okay. Cross-examining mystery man number 2.
There's one other thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir.
So, unlike your earlier testimony, you believe this rock to be solid, do you?
Yes, sir. As solid as stone, sir. If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I'd even give the V the victory sign, sir.
Couldn't he just use his right hand for that?
Let's hear him out fully. As we've seen, one never knows when he might say until the very last second. To enter this evidence room, one must use their ID card.
Is that the card hanging around the neck of one of these ID cards?
Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuff, sir. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it.
But what if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that?
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Remember when I said 2 out of 3 times my tie gets stuck when I get out of my car? Well, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck.
Instead of the door closing, the ID card chokes me. Maybe I should just leave this one alone. At any rate, each police officer only has one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. Let it be noted that this record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it, Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. So it is, Your Honor. Not that prosecutor again.
Hey, maybe he's behind all this. Being a prosecutor, he could hide the evidence. Mommy, is that man in blue a murderer? Shh, don't stare at him.
You've got the wrong colour, kid. It would seem the inquiry committee will want to speak with you again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue with the cross-examination.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. It must be so difficult for him.
At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. Earlier, I believe you testified that when you asked the man to show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID card, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. Maybe he just panicked? Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out.
Mr. Wright, what do you think?
I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this.
You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what we've got.
See, yeah, the thing that's weird, not that, sorry, is, see, yeah, let me have a look at what I've got. See, because the thing that's strange is that this was found at the prosecutor's office crime scene. So how was it being used at the other crime scene?
Objection!
Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room of the police department. I mean the other crime scene, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report? It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. Order! Order! So now, what does this all mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't even require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card. Order! 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 Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instance of the murder. That is... Well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't going to end well. See, this just feels like they're on the same side at this point. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So, the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Ah. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. Yeah. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana...
What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? I mean, object? Maybe there's something we can do? One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Where did he go, though? Is what I'm wondering. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considers the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call the certain Texas Ranger to the stand.
Mr. Wright, do you mean...
Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testify. What is his or her name? Jake Marshall. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let Edgeworth know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court is now in recess. February 23rd.
There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What do you mean?
You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you've figured everything out.
I haven't figured anything out.
Lana? You're the one who knows everything. Emma. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me?
I hope not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Oh, bless him. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty. And stop it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Sorry, Detective.
You better be, pal. Hey. I didn't see you there, Chief Prosecutor Sky.
That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked?
Oh. You mean this, right?
My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request.
My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL7 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL7 incident?
But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them.
I can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness? SL7, ooh, for the Joe Dart killing solved 2 years ago. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with the serial murders. Oh, what? Now I've brought you stuff, you just gonna ignore me? Emma? But why? Why is your name in here?
What? My name's in there? I don't know, unless... No, it couldn't be. Lana, this SL9 incident, is that... That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dart killings. The Joe Dart? No, Lana. That's over with, no!
Emma, wait. She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth, not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence.
Knowing you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck.
Well, before we do that... Check. So, incident number SL9 closed. Perpetrator Joe Dark. Crime, serial murder, sentence death. So, victims Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Head prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, witnesses Lana Sky, Emma Sky. Executive investigators Damon Gant, Lana Sky. Head investigator Bruce Goodman. Investigators Jake Marshall, Angel Starr. Okay, so not a great deal in there, but... Okay. Right. I better take a good look at this file. Oh, I already did. But this should be more to it than that. There's only like a little bit on that file. I want more. February 24th, District Court. The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just the same. Wandering as you wander in the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed, yes, we get it. Oh, I know, you're a patrolman. That's from my name. If you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Howling wind? I never heard Edgeworth describe it that way before. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. Okay, day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They say I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beer, but you don't see me complaining. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yes, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprints-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Good luck. Day of the crime. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? Just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. I was just the caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing ain't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for dramatic, but is it going to do him any good? So, in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room? They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. No desperados I know join the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck to the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner, can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how the bike works. That's quite incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is any relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? If I remember right, I was at the street saloon at the time it went down. Oh, hang on, sorry, I need to go back. There we go. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's Vogoli sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duty to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, did you not want a raise this year? I'm just an innocent traveling man, and if you're all out of ammo, it's time to hit the trail. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as if you call it evidence. If you plan to pin me out to this crime, you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west to that sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so it's best to keep my cool. Before I use it, though, I'd better up the ante. Okay, I think it's gonna be probably that one. Because we've got evidence that he was in the room.
Objection!
We've got his fingerprints. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, I make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
Objection!
I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at a crime scene? The blood was wiped away, however, a luminal test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall? About the bloodstained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Bloodstained fingerprints. Alright, round 2. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence in that room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprints are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it. The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Okay, bloodstained fingerprints. Got a lot to go through. Okay, like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in the evidence room. That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. Although, all that's in that locker now though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from the locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Okay. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine. It's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that are not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me for a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Bloodstain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do with breakfast while the other's a type of murder. He's right, although seemingly alike, they are totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? How do you know that? Maybe a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports. There was a blood stain at the scene thought to be left by the murderer. That's right. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint. Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprints. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture. This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. The security tape. So long as my trail ain't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad it wasn't me in that video, right, partner? What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. And someone was familiar with the camera's position. They could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright. Well, Mr. Wright, if you can show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do so now. I'll see if there's anything. Let's have a look. Very well. Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall. Tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake. Now then, let us have another look at this video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. Okay. I'm gonna keep an eye out for his locker. So, let's fast forward a bit. Where's his locker? It's over there. Ooh! Ooh! Okay. I've seen something. I've seen something already. Hang on. Let's see when that white thing appears. Still not there. Because it's not there. Oh, it's there now. Oh, pause. There. It wasn't there before, which means he opened his locker. I fucking knew something to do with his locker. Bringing our attention back to the security camera. It's a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. That locker with the white cloth sticking out? That was the witness's, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. I can't believe they're using this in part 2. That creepy thing, I love it. It's just, honestly, bless him. Wasn't that before? Oh, the white cloth, it's gone. What is the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then, it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Order, order! It would seem that that's it. Hold your horses. Sorry, partner. But you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm wanted man? Because it's not possible. This guy isn't just playing dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah? I'll call your bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it. The thing. You can talk the talk, alright, but you got a long ways to go before you can walk the walk. Oh, sorry, hang on. Hang on, sorry. Okay, well, hang on. Oh! Oh no, it's fine, I'm just investigating something world. Right, hang on. That one? A fingerprint sensor? We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. What kind of crazy talk is this? Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less? Oh. I only got 1 word for you, partner. No! Order, order, order! Witness, explain yourself. If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. Please answer the question. Is he now a bullfighter? That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Officer Marshall was standing right here. There? But that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct. Unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in this video was Officer Marshall. It was you, dressed up like Detective Goodman.
Objection!
But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
Objection!
May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes? And how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We've got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? He's still denying it? You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed him as the victim. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. Can't say I care for your beer, but you don't see me complaining. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. Ugh, this can't be happening. It's so obvious he's the one. What can I do? It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me.
Phoenix, try thinking outside the box.
I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was opened in the first place? Oh, is the white thing the coat? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance that he might be discovered later as it had been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well. Let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Why he had to open the locker? Well, it has, like, blood on it, though, right? Like, I spotted that before. There it goes. Yeah, because it's fine there. And then... Is it because there's blood on it? For some reason, you've disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, although I don't know to what end yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pull a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. Not bad, partner. think we got him. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we'd all wouldn't have to be here now, would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did, all of it. All right, it seems time has come. Marshall's confession. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. Knocked him out. Managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim really was you. But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. Okay, let's see what he has to say. I had to do it that day. Couldn't just stand by and let it die. When you say you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years have passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I have anything to do with it. That instant's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only the case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time, no matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner, that case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? Hang on. I knew I recognized the name Marshall. Hang on. Neil Marshall. Oh my god, he knew a victim. Or he's related to a victim. There you go, that's it. I knew I recognized the name. I was like, why do I recognize this freaking name? That day was my last chance, that's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out the lost item report. I returned his ID card, left it on the floor of the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But he could because a rubber glove just happened to be stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone had actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a 1 in a million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to be shown his ID. I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? I don't know what to say. So you knocked out Officer Meekins out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. So you did your research beforehand. Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference though. Security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone to plan, no footage would have been left. However, you blooded your coat in your struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So, what you're saying is on that day, there wasn't a murder in the evidence room at 5:15. The blood found at the crime scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What, are you blind? The victim shown on the tape is me, and I'm not dead yet, partner. So, you stole the evidence from the locker. Actually, no, I didn't. Why not? When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? It's still missing, Your Honor. Detective Goodman's locker was already emptied. Someone else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer, this is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary. Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution. Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? But that case was solved 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is that he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something that went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with the incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling we'd wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related to that case somewhere or another. I better take another look at the files. Yeah, so I think it's the last one. I think it's this. So I think it is...
Objection!
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man? Neil Marshall? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago... Oh, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 incident before I did. That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? He was my brother. Aww. He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then Deputy Chief of Police. Oh, the group of detectives I was part worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer. Oh, Joe Dark. My brother Fort Dark was killed. That was the first time Doc left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed, at least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions. There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened at the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case would be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happen by chance never cease to amaze. The exact same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Chance. It's got to be more than just that. Oh, if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye.
Objection!
But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Objection!
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today. But there's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department. It seems to me that boy got the draw on you, partner. All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. Our only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of one of Miss Angel Skye is completely incontestable. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. I rest my case. It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There is no room for doubt. Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disapproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape really was fake, but I didn't realise that would end up proving Lana guilty. Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant... Another whole day. Oh!
Your Honor, wait.
Emma?
The defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Right?
What do you mean, Wright? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor? Oh, in a sense.
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking for is a minute of your time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3.
I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings.
Now that she mentions it, the names of both Skye's sisters were in that file.
But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint.
You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker? But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again.
So, did you find something?
No.
Huh?
Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all.
Is that all?
Please don't be mad. I'm just a high school student.
And I'm just an attorney.
But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them... Please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. If anyone could save Lana, it's you.
Me? Oh boy. Time's up. Now then, Mr. Wright, with regard to the incident at the police department, does any reasonable doubt remain? It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this?
Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be of more use. But still, if you can't find anything wrong with that blood mark, Lana will be...
Please answer my question, Mr. Wright. We don't have all day. Yes, Your Honor. If I ever needed to concentrate it now. What could be wrong with that handprint on Detective Gumshoe's locker? Could there be something I'm missing? Well, I mean, I've clearly got to object. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing it seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright. You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Tell me, is there a problem with them? Yes, this is strange. Well, see, actually, that's a good point. Because with the handprint, because it's right, like, short, like, wouldn't the camera have picked up on it? Take a good look at these floor plans. Something is missing. Missing? You mean something hasn't been drawn on there? Yes. Something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark. Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time. Very well, Mr. Wright. With all this evidence here, there's got to be something I can use. The question is, which item can prove something is missing in the floor plans? I mean, the blue badger panel's missing. What about that piece of plywood? The blue badger, mascot of the police force. Defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger is not here. So watch what happens when we put him in. Because he was in front of the lockers. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime. Well, what? That's right. So long as the blue badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint at this spot on the locker. What? So that means, just exactly what does that mean? It means it can't be done. What are you saying? Blood traces were undeniably found on that locker. Don't look at me, I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think it through scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the only one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker. So that must mean this blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in.
Just one moment, I will not allow such far-fetched balderdash in my courtroom.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st, in the police department's evidence room,
blood was spilled not once, but twice. Oh, so they cleaned it up. Oh, and then the blue... Oh, that is a twist. So someone was killed here first. So someone did get killed here. Hang on, what the... But... Oh, well, at least died. But, or, you know, got hurt. But how?
One time was captured on this tape, taken by the security camera.
Officer Meekins cut his hand, which... See, because you can't even see it on the thing, which fell a trivial amount of blood fell. The problem is the other time. Yeah, because that's completely like covering it. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been. It had to have been Detective Goodman when he was really murdered.
Objection!
That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim.
Objection!
The murder portrayed at the security tape has already been proven to be fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found in the locker.
Objection!
So then, assuming this murder you purport really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred. When did the first incident occur? To summarize, the defense claims that prior to the Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room. That's right, the blood mark on the locker proves this. Very well, then tell us, when did this first incident occur? As Mr. Edgeworth said, proof must be presented. Proof that shows when the murder took place. There's only one piece of evidence that can show that. Now then, will the defense please present its evidence? What shows the first time? The first time? Well, it's gotta be the ID log, right? If the crime took place inside the evidence room, then the killer would have had to enter it. And in order to do so, an ID card would have been required. An ID card? Oh, the ID card record. Officer Meekins brought the Blue Badger panel into the evidence room at, let's see here, 4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Miss Miles Edgeworth, just what have you done? I never would have figured you had the nerve, boy. Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out it couldn't have been me. Nope, I ain't getting it. I'm afraid I don't understand either. It's clear from the luminal test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, and clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's physically impossible. That would also mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the evidence room. Let's look at the chart again. There's only one other card number remaining. 7777777. Talk about a lucky number. But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room? Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. Oh, like someone let him in? That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 7777777. Mr. Edgeworth, please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is 777777. That was 1 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that ID card. At least at present. What? Explain yourself, son. The ID number belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. Someone who is so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity.
Objection!
But that's ridiculous. Just how? I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There is one situation in which we can be granted such authority. And if an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge? You're all alike, aren't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how prosecutor's office operates.
Objection!
I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself. Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask a question. Yes? No, not you. To her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive. Lana?
Objection!
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number and it's not that. Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I wanted to ask. All I want to know is one thing about that incident. The SL9 incident? Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence? Oh. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, I was in charge of the prosecution for that trial. At the time, occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana, I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with law. But before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law. Defendant, just what are you saying? I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me, an investigator in that crime, in the eye and say that you did? Chief Prosecutor, you didn't. I don't have to, Officer Marshall. Why won't you answer him? Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserves. But Lana, even if it involved forging evidence. See, that's what I'm talking about. No. No! Order, 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 order! Lana's remarks caused such a stir the chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. The conclusion of the trial would have to wait until the following day. Damn.
Oh man, this is unveiling and it's very interesting. Ooh.